Hello my bunnies, it's Ticky's Trinkets here, and today I have for you another polymer clay tutorial. I've kind of changed up my venue of where I usually record, but we have the Christmas tree usually sits on this desk in my room. But right now the Christmas tree is now gone, and I had this rug on my floor, but now I've moved it over here. It's actually a beach towel, not a rug. But look! It's so pizza-y, and even the napkins that I have up here right now are pizza. I'm just obsessed with pizza. But who isn't? Also, I thought this would be a cute way so you can go ahead and kind of see the sculpture in the background. Yes, there's more than one, but I just wanted to show them all side by side because it's the different Tattletail sculptures I've made over the years. The tutorial we're doing today was a request by somebody on YouTube. I'll either pop up their name here or mention them down below in the description, and I will tag you directly just so you can see the video, and I hope you like it too. I did my best. I don't think she looks as cute as the other ones, but you know, she is evil. I don't think she looks as good as the other, but I tried my best. That's all I can say. For this video, we are making Evil Mama from the game Tattletail, which came out about a year ago to the date. Wow, can you believe that? Feels like it's been longer actually to me. And I put her on a black base just to match the other ones. And I wanted to use my diamond eyes because that's my theme and my thing. And for this one, it actually kind of worked. I used 5mm acrylic beads instead of my usual 8, I think is what I usually use. No, it's not 8. Maybe I normally use 5 and these are 2. These are the smallest ones you can get though. And you'll see how I did that in the video, and you'll see how I did the teeth in the video, and these horns, and this wire sticking out, and it's just the coolest thing ever. Like I said, she doesn't look as good as I wanted her to, but she still looks pretty damn accurate to compare it to the game. And then, comparing her to the good mama in the game, because I still remember the game really well. I like this game a lot. I made her, mixed her black, or her brown with the color black, so that she would look darker fur color than the other one. And you can kind of see it from here. But she's definitely darker than the good, nice one. They both got the video players on their bellies. Both got the really weird feet. I made her feet bigger and creepier. And they both got texture fur, but I did hers more fine and hers more predominant. Just another thing to kind of make her a little extra creepy. And last but not least, I got Tattletail sitting back here. And he actually has glow-in-the-dark eyes, unlike the other ones back there. But, you know, diamond eyes, excuse me, other side, diamond eyes can't really make them glow-in-the-dark unless they make glow-in-the-dark acrylic beads. Which, if they do, I would love that. But, yeah, there's a little Tattletail boy sitting on the packaging that he comes in. And that's pretty much it. I really hope whoever requested this, I should have looked up your YouTube channel name before I did the intro. But, again, I will either write your name on the screen here, or I will link you down below. Either way, I hope you enjoy this, and I hope everybody else does. I know this game's kind of old, but it was fun for me to go back to it. I've been looking at them for a while now and tweaking the listing on Etsy, trying to get these little boys to sell. I've sold Tattletails before, but I have never sold the mom before, which I actually like Mama better than Tattletail. I think she came out perfect. The Mama one, I think she just looks super cute to me. Anyways, let's go ahead and go into this video, this tutorial, and I'm going to try to use more music throughout my videos more often now. So, I hope you guys enjoy this. That's been enough talking, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, my bunnies. Alright, for this tutorial, you'll need the following clay colors, plus a wooden base if you'd like to, and also acrylic paint to paint the base when you're done. First, we're going to start with the black and the brown color, which is chocolate Sculpey and regular black Sculpey. I just take a fair amount of both. I didn't really measure it out this time, but you know, just get it as much as you want the item to be big. Then I rolled it into a ball and mixed it all together very well. After you've mixed it as much as you like, go ahead and roll it between your hands or your fingers and make it into like an egg shape. Then once you've done that, take it very gently and press against your work surface so that the bottom will be nice and flat to work with. After you've done that, it's going to look something like this. Next, you're going to need a little bit more of this colored clay, so either put some to the side earlier or just make a little bit more right now. And it's maybe about a ½ inch in diameter, it's not too big. Then you're just going to go ahead and cut this in half. These are going to be the ears for Mama. So after you cut it in half, you're going to want to roll these into 2 equal balls. I always cut things in half after it's in a ball because it's easier to make sure it looks more equal. Then roll these into pointed teardrop shapes. And then you're going to need some kind of pointed tool just to indent the inside of the ears. I used this little tool that came from a $40 kit that I got from Hobby Lobby. And you just press it in there and roll it and make it flat. Then just cut the ears both on a bias, so that means kind of angled up on both of them, so they'll be flat on the bottom. Next, using a reference photo, I just cut the ears and made them more jagged, kind of like how they look in the game. Now we're going to go ahead and go onto the tan colored Sculpey clay, which is what this is. And you're going to roll out all these balls that you need right here. I said balls. Godly, I don't know where my mouth is at. And you're going to start, oh my lord, with the 2 tiny ones at the top. And you're going to roll these into very elongated teardrop shapes, just like this. And these are going to be the interior of the ears, so just stick them inside the ears and cut off the excess, just like so. And once you've done that, the scrap clay you can put to the side, and then take your dotting tool and just roll it again to make it flat on the inside as well. Next, we need some structure, so put 2 metal wires or 2 toothpicks inside the ear for structure. But you'll see why I went with metal, because in the game a little piece of metal hangs out our ear, as you can see. So it just makes it look more authentic that way. Next, you can also use glue for security, or just go ahead and blend it to the head for more security. Next, we're going to work on her fur, or face, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to use this largest ball, roll it out nice and flat. Then you're going to cut the bottom off. And after you cut the bottoms off, kind of measure it out to the body and cut the sides off. You don't want it to be too wide. And I still made it a little bit wider than I needed to just have more room to shave excess off. Then I took this rounded tool that also came with that set that came with the pointed tool and just stuck it right in the center, kind of below where the eyes would be. I turned it sideways just so you could see. Just a little better reference picture. And then after that, you're going to take your cutting tool and cut the circular part of her cheek on the side and then cut down at an angle. Then do the same thing for the opposite side. And once you're pretty happy with how the shape looks, just go ahead and cut all the excess off. You will see later I cut the right side and shaved it down a little bit more because it was still too wide. Next, take your dotting tool or your X-Acto blade and indent a line all the way around her because she kind of turns on her torso, just to kind of show that line. Next, we're going to make her little snoot. So you're going to take this teeny tiny ball we made, roll it into a very fat log shape like this, and then just kind of bend it like a rainbow shape, and then press it gently on her face, trying to make it as centered as possible, but not quite all the way up. Again, have a reference photo open in the other tab. That'll help you out. Then I used one of my nail dotting tools and indented the little line for her little mouth. It's hard to describe this stuff. Next, I always keep toothpicks handy because they can come in handy for teeth and things like that. So you just cut off the tips and just have very teeny tiny teeth parts left. Tips that look like teeth. Then I took the black acrylic paint I mentioned earlier and I kind of outlined where I wanted the mouth to be, but don't go too far out. Then I just went on ahead and stuck these inside the snoot. 3 on the top, and I'm going to do 2 on the bottom. And I also used those pliers in the back to stick them in the head more easily. This little ball here, you're just going to take it and roll it into like a fat, elongated snake like this. And you're just going to go ahead and stick it around the, the outline of the mouth shape so that all the black is covered up now. And last but not least, take 2 more of the little toothpicks and just wedge them down into it, just like I did with the top ones. You don't really need glue or anything. Mine stuck in very fine without glue, but you can use glue if you want to be extra secure. Lastly, I wanted to do the tufts of hair on her head, but I wanted them to be more jagged than the one I made prior, the Good Mama. So I just used the toothpicks, cut 3 pieces off, and used the pliers and stuck them in there. Oh, and the pliers, the little tweezer plier things, I got from a set from Walmart. But you can use whatever you have on hand. You can use like eyebrow plucker things. Next, we're going to make the feet. So you're going to take these 2 balls, roll them into very, very funny shapes like here. I don't know what to call this. Long squash shapes. And then just take it between your fingers and pull out the long balls at the bottom so that they're more narrow like that. And then just cut the top parts off. It's very hard to explain that. But just pull it until it looks like feet. Next, take one toothpick and cut it in half with some wire cutters or whatever you have on hand, just be careful, and stick them into the bottom of Mama. Make sure they're kind of spaced apart evenly, and then just stick the feet on there. Make sure they're lined up side by side, but not touching too close. After that, you can go ahead and make the tootsies. Just use the X-Acto blade or dotting tool to indent 2 lines. She has more than 3 toes on each foot, but I just went minimalistic because there's not a lot of room for detail. Next, take some black clay and just roll it out nice and flat. Or if you don't have black left, just take some of the ones we mixed prior, because that's what I did, and cut it into a very teeny weeny rectangular shape like this. I mean, look, it's not even barely a ½ inch in diameter. It's teeny tiny, and I made it a little bit smaller. And then just go ahead and stick that very low on her stomach, but leave a little bit of room, because next we're going to use the silver clay to make, which this is just a bunch of different silvers mixed together, but you know, it doesn't matter as long as it's silver. We're going to roll this out nice and flat, and this is going to be the buttons for her recorder. So you're going to cut it into a very, very small rectangular piece, like the one you see on the left here. Then using your dotting tool or X-Acto blade, indent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons, I think is what it was on the picture. Might be 6 or 5, but just to give you an idea. And then just stick it right above the recorder part that we put on prior. Next, we're going to use the same silver color to make her eyes. Well, part of her eyes. So you're going to roll out 2 teeny weeny balls. Then use the dotting tool, just poke 2 holes into her head. And then just go ahead and stick those bad boys right in there. And try to make sure the eyes are spaced apart evenly. And, you know, a realistic size. Next, we're going to take red colored clay to make her nose, which you can also use for her eyes, but I use the acrylic beads because I like the shine. And then just take the red clay and kind of form it into the shape of a heart. It's very hard to explain that, but just worked very easily. Then I just stuck these little beads into her head. And then I also used my X-Acto blade or dotting tool to make lines around the silver part. Again, reference photos. She just kind of has like lines on it. Next, I took the smallest dotting tool I had so I could indent holes. Again, I wanted them to be bigger holes. So I just one by one poked holes all the way around all that black and brown clay. It took a little while. And then after you're done with all that, we're almost done. So go ahead and clean it up with some rubbing alcohol. And then take your X-Acto blade or something very sharp and get the eyes out very carefully from the silver part. Don't mess it up too much. And then go ahead and bake it depending on your oven. I baked mine in a gas oven for 350 degrees for 12 minutes. Also ignore that other sculpture. I'm working on more than one thing at once. Then once it's cooled off, just take your glue of some kind and just glue the the red beads into her head. Then I went ahead and took my acrylic paint and painted the base. After that was dry, I used E6000 to glue her to the base. And once the glue was set, I went on ahead and took my polyurethane floor varnish and I glazed her with 2 coats of glaze. And she is completed. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and I hope it was easy enough to follow along. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more awesome tutorials by me. Love you guys. Bye-bye, my bunnies.